For many years, the technology industry expanded at an extraordinary pace. Companies hired thousands of engineers to build new products, scale infrastructure, and support rapidly growing user bases. During this period, developers often experienced strong demand and rising salaries. But hiring cycles eventually change. Over the past several years, many engineers noticed that the hiring environment became more cautious. Companies still recruit engineers, but the pace of expansion slowed compared to the previous decade. Understanding why requires looking at how the technology industry evolved. Now, salary breakdown. During periods of rapid growth, companies often compete aggressively for engineering talent. This competition can push salaries upward quickly as organizations try to attract experienced developers. However, when growth stabilizes, the urgency to expand teams begins to decline. Companies still hire engineers, but compensation growth tends to slow as the market becomes more balanced. This shift does not necessarily mean salaries collapse. Instead, it often signals a transition from rapid expansion to a more stable hiring environment. Now, market demand. One reason the hiring environment feels different today is the maturity of many technology companies. During earlier growth phases, companies hired aggressively because entire products, infrastructures, and platforms still needed to be built. Today, many of those systems already exist. Large cloud platforms, mature developer tools, and stable back-end infrastructures allow companies to operate with smaller engineering teams than before. Instead of building everything from scratch, engineers increasingly work on optimizing systems that are already running at scale. This shift reduces the urgency to hire large numbers of developers, even though technical work itself continues to expand. The demand for software engineers remains significant. Technology companies still build products, maintain infrastructure, and develop new platforms. However, the structure of demand has changed. Instead of expanding engineering teams across every area of development, many organizations now concentrate hiring in specific technical domains, such as infrastructure, distributed systems, data platforms, and artificial intelligence. This creates the impression that hiring slowed, even though technical work continues to grow. Now, competition level. Another factor influencing hiring is the globalization of software development. Software engineering is one of the few professions where productive work can be done from almost anywhere in the world. As remote collaboration tools improved, companies gained access to a much larger global talent pool. This does not eliminate opportunities for developers, but it does increase competition in certain segments of the market. Organizations can now evaluate candidates from multiple regions rather than hiring exclusively within a single city. The result is a hiring environment where strong technical skills remain valuable, but where average candidates face greater competition than before. Another major factor influencing hiring is the increase in the number of developers entering the industry. Computer science programs expanded worldwide. Boot camps introduced thousands of new developers to programming careers. Online learning platforms made technical education widely accessible. As a result, the supply of developers increased significantly. When the number of qualified candidates grows faster than the number of available roles, competition naturally increases. Now, junior reality. Early career developers often feel this shift most strongly. Companies sometimes prefer hiring engineers who already possess several years of experience, rather than training new developers internally. This creates a challenging environment for many junior engineers trying to enter the industry for the first time. However, the difficulty often reflects the cyclical nature of technology hiring, rather than a permanent decline in opportunity. Now, long-term outlook. Another structural trend shaping the future of engineering work is the increasing complexity of modern software systems. Large applications today depend on dozens or even hundreds of interconnected services. These systems require engineers who understand reliability, scalability, monitoring, and operational stability. Maintaining complex infrastructure over long periods often becomes more difficult than building the initial product. As technology ecosystems mature, companies often value engineers who can manage complexity rather than simply produce new features. This shift gradually favors developers who deepen their technical expertise over those who focus only on surface-level development skills. Despite these changes, the long-term outlook for software engineering remains strong. Software continues to expand across nearly every sector of the global economy. Industries such as healthcare, finance, transportation, and energy increasingly depend on complex software systems. As these systems grow larger, the need for skilled engineers capable of maintaining and improving them continues. Now, positioning strategy. Engineers who adapt to shifts in hiring demand often position themselves in areas where companies struggle to find experienced talent. Infrastructure engineering, distributed systems, platform reliability, and large-scale data systems often require deeper technical understanding. Developers who gradually expand their expertise into these domains frequently find more stable demand for their skills. Now, risk and resilience. Hiring cycles are a normal feature of the technology industry. Periods of rapid expansion are often followed by periods of consolidation. Engineers who understand this pattern tend to view slow hiring periods as temporary adjustments rather than permanent industry decline. Developers who continue improving their technical depth often remain resilient during these transitions. Now, final verdict. Tech hiring did not disappear. The industry simply moved from rapid expansion into a more selective phase. Engineers who understand where demand continues to grow can still find strong opportunities in the evolving technology market.